Alright folks, who brings it to you? Who brings it to you early? We have two variants of the S8 here. We have the silver variant, and I have another video up on the channel of the black variant. I'll be doing both unboxings, so stay tuned to the channel, watch those videos, and please subscribe. A lot more to come in regards to the S8 full retail variants for the T-Mobile network. So guys, check these videos out. There's a lot more to come. So real quick, before we unbox this, let's get some specs out of the way. So this device is rocking a 5.8-inch display, Super AMOLED 5.8-inch display. A lot of speculation out there of whether you should go with the S8 or the S8 Plus. I decided to go with the S8 for a couple factors. S8 Plus was getting kind of expensive. Everything was just a little bit more expensive than last year's models, but the S8 Plus was getting kind of up there. And the only two fundamental differences was the screen size. You're going with a 5.8-inch display on the S8, and the S8 Plus had a 6.2-inch display. I just found that that might be just a little bit too big for one-handed use, so I decided to go with the S8. In addition to that, you're going to have a 3500 milliamp battery as opposed to the 3000 milliamp battery on this unit, but I think battery life, the differences between the two will be negligible, just because you know, you have a bigger screen, there's more pixels to push, and more battery power to power them. So the difference between the two, it really is I don't think is going to be a significant difference in terms of battery life. You have a 12 megapixel camera on the back. It is rocking Sony's latest sensor. There was some talk out there that it was rocking the same exact camera as last year's model. It's not. It's an upgraded camera. It's Sony's latest sensor that they have now on their flagship Xperia device. So it's an upgraded camera as well. 4 gigabytes of RAM. I would have liked to seen 6 at this point, but hey, it's got 4 gigabytes of RAM. As I mentioned before, a 3000 milliamp battery. It's rocking Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and on the back. We did mention Super AMOLED 5.8-inch display. It does have haptic feedback, something similar to what Apple has with their device, but there's no physical home button anymore. To get that huge display, that infinity display, that 5.8-inch infinity display in the smaller form factor, they had to go away and do away with the physical home button. But even the on-screen button, it'll have feedback to it. So when you push it, it'll feel clicky, and it'll feel like you're pushing a physical button when there is no actual physical button there. This device will be rocking the latest Snapdragon chip, which is the 835. Also, it will be rocking a Adreno 540 GPU. That's obviously for the US markets. Some of that might change. You might have an Exynos chip depending on what country you're in, but here in the US, this is what we're going with. You have micro SD expandability up to 256 gigabytes, and the internal memory here, you have 64 gigabytes of internal memory standard now. So I think Samsung is setting a new precedent, a new standard, that no more should we have 32 gigs of internal memory. We need to go to 64 as a standard. I agree with that, and kudos to them for doing that as well. Like I mentioned, there was a 12 megapixel rear camera, as well as an 8 megapixel front facing camera, so they did upgrade that. And there's a lot of technology that goes into that front facing camera as well. Alright, also this has Bluetooth 5.0. So now you're going to ask yourself, what's the difference between Bluetooth 5.0 and the last version of Bluetooth that you had on your S7 Edge? Well, one is range. You can go to about 150 feet with Bluetooth 5.0, so that's about 4 times the range as you had prior with Bluetooth, I think it was 4.2. In addition to that, you could connect to multiple devices at one time. So basically, if you want stereo sound and you have 2 different Bluetooth speakers, it could be from 2 different manufacturers. You could play one song out of both speakers at the same exact time. So that's another plus of Bluetooth 5.0. So without further ado, let's start opening this bad boy. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Okay. Sorry guys, I moved into a new house, so I'm gonna have to go with this as my unboxing knife for now. Okay. Let's try to slide this bad boy out. Okay. The sleeve off. Taking off the seal. Alright, boom. So let's take a look at this. This is the first time I'm actually looking at the silver variant as well. The first time I'm looking at these devices, and we're going through the motions. Boom. So here is the silver variant of the S8. So there's one change I really didn't like about the S8. All the fronts of the S8 are black, even on the S8 Plus as well. So even if you get a silver variant, in the past they would color the front bars of the device silver or whatever color you had, but they're all going to be black. It kind of takes away, I think, from the look and overall aesthetics of the device, but it's a small thing to bitch about. So real quick, let's go through a quick hardware tour of the device. On the bottom you have a 3.5mm headphone jack. Thank you Samsung for leaving that in. You have a USB Type-C cable, microphone, and you have your mono speaker. Like I mentioned before, a lot of rumors that it was stereo speakers with the earpiece. It is not. It is a single firing, bottom firing mono speaker. On the right, you're gonna have your power button. Up top, you have a microphone and your SIM slot, as well as your micro SD slot. On the left hand side, you have your volume rockers and your Bixby button. And on the back of the device, you have your fingerprint scanner, your camera obviously, and your flash/heart rate sensor. One thing I did like about Samsung, a lot of the manufacturers with their flash, it's like a little plastic piece. They actually embedded the flash underneath the glass, so you still have that same protection from the Gorilla Glass 5. So let's do a first boot up right here. Boom, booting up the device. Alright guys, so while that's going, let's go and see what else we have in this package here. Alright, usually T-Mobile throws in a SIM, even though you might not need it. You have your typical books and crap and your SIM ejection tool. File that to the side. They also threw in a USB Type-C to micro USB connector. So that's good if this is your first time using USB Type-C. You might have a lot of old cables in your house, so you just slap this on one of your old cables and you're good to go, and having an extra cable aside from the one that comes in the box. Okay, you have another adapter over here, I believe, if I can get to it. I'm gonna have to go beast on this. Jesus. Alright, here we go. Okay, so you have your USB adapter here. So this is standard USB to USB Type-C adapter. This is basically for transferring all your data from one phone, maybe a Galaxy S7, to your S8 without actually having to go to your computer, download the files, and move them over, or without using some other software to do that. So that was kind of cool. So you have a Samsung fast charger over here. So a lot of people were asking if it's using Qualcomm 3.0 technology. Samsung has their own proprietary charging bricks here and their own fast charging. So this is not Qualcomm 3.0. I think it's on par with some of their older fast chargers, which work fairly well, and they work very well to charge your phone from 0 to full in about less than an hour. So yeah, so this is something on par with what you would get with the S7 or the S7 Edge. And then you have your USB Type-C cable. And then we have our AKG headphones. Now, these are supposed to be at least $100 value. These are very high-end headphones that they're including in the box. with these devices, so that's kind of cool. We're gonna have to do some testing on the channel to see how these headphones work. Are they actually are they good? How's the sound on it, the clarity and everything of that nature. It does also come with like a braided cable as opposed to just a standard, you know, rubber wired cable, so that's fairly cool. Alright guys, that was my quick unboxing of the Galaxy S8. We'll have a full review on the channel up shortly. I want to go through the motions, but like I said earlier, unlike a lot of other reviewers, we're going to go through a full testing phase of a full review model, as opposed to most YouTubers right now that they're basically reviewing pre-production software, and you're not going to get the full feel of actually how this phone is going to feel. So stay tuned to the channel. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. A lot more videos to come in regards to the S8. Full reviews coming for both S8s. So stay tuned to the channel. I also have some other things for the channel. I have some Spigen cases coming to the channel. I have the S8 Ultra Hybrid with a kickstand, and I have an S8 Liquid Crystal case, as well as some curved tempered glass screen protectors coming to the channel. So guys, a lot of stuff coming to the channel. Please make sure you're here, you're subscribed. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.